Hi everyone, welcome to eSight's webinar about fundraising for your device. Today we're going to talk about Empower, our fundraising platform that helps find external sources of funding. So today I have two of our Empower advocates with us. We're going to share a success story, some tips for your own success. We're going to walk you through the Empower process, and we're going to provide some tips for when fundraising stalls, and then how to get in touch. So without further ado, Stephanie and Rob, can you guys tell us a little bit about yourself and why you like working here?
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I've been here for almost a year and a half now, and I've helped lots of our Empower clients get over the finish line with their fundraising. A little bit about me, I am also legally blind, so I find this work really rewarding. And if you want a fun fact, I've been to almost 30 countries.
Awesome. My name is Robert Robinson. I've been with eSight since February of 2019. Just love the position that we're in right now, being able to help people achieve their goals, providing great service while doing something that we love. Fun fact about me, I love football, go Eagles, Philadelphia Rocks, and yeah, that's me.
That's great. Rob, can you share an example of someone who's had success in the fundraising program?
Perfect. Thanks, Crystal. The story that I'd like to share with everyone listening today is about Sidonia. Sidonia came through back in April, reached out to eSight based off of her vision. She first then tried eSight, driving to one of our locations about an hour and a half, which is called our hub experience, where she got to try on the device. Through this experience, she was able to see cars, faces. She was with her mom, her husband, pretty much the family. So she had a really great experience. One of the obstacles that she had or challenges was affordability. And so working closely with her mom, who was involved closely in the community with churches and other support groups, they were able to raise the funds within a week to 2 weeks. And to me, I think it was a great story working with them. And I've talked to her since, and she's just having a great experience with quality of life with eSight.
Thanks for sharing that. And what made Sidonia so successful in her program, Rob?
So there's a couple indicators that really made her successful. Between her and her mother, they're very optimistic. So they had great energy, very positive. They knew that the device worked and what it can provide to Sidonia and her family as well. Their engagement, we were able to literally have conversations daily, finding out what is working, what I can do to help them, and what they can do to kind of help themselves and motivate themselves. As I had mentioned earlier, because the fact that her mom was so involved in the community, that was a opportunity for them that they were able to really utilize and bringing the community together, getting the support that they needed, and really getting the contributions from the churches and the network of churches, which really helped, and their personal network. And that's huge. A lot of people really don't understand how big their own personal network is until they really get the word out there and try and let people know what it is that they're trying to achieve. And working together with Sidonia and her mom, Sue, we were able to accomplish this. And I think it was just a great experience. And those are some of the qualities that really made it successful for her.
That's great. And Stephanie, do you have any tips to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, my big one, kind of speaking as a visually impaired person, I find that people sometimes have a hard time putting their pride aside and really feeling comfortable asking for help. And I definitely get that. I used to feel very uncomfortable asking for help, reading signs, or if people were making faces and it was just silent, I would never ask for clarification. But I've really found that once you sort of break down that wall and let yourself be vulnerable and just say what you need, it's very helpful and beneficial to both the fundraiser and the person that's donating, because oftentimes we find that people are very happy to help and they get a little takeaway and they get to feel good about themselves once they get to help you, but you will never know unless you ask.
That's great advice. So Stephanie, can you kind of walk everyone through the Empower process? How do people sign up and what can they expect?
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty straightforward. The way that the Empower process works is, first of all, the person will have to try the device. So whether that's with one of our clinical partners or in our home demonstration program, once they've had a successful result, they'll come across our desks. And the next step would be one of us would give them a call and we would learn a lot about them and make a plan together. We'd figure out what their personal network looks like and what resources we might be able to tap from that end. And then the other side of things would be we do a lot of work with organizations and grants and foundations. So we try and come at it at a two-pronged approach. Once we've made a plan, then we just check in as much as possible and then just kind of keep going with that plan until they cross the finish line.
That's great. And do all the funds go towards your eSight, or does eSight take any of that?
So we use a program called CauseVox here, and that's something that I would help to get them set up on in that initial phone call. It's very similar to GoFundMe, except that we don't take any off the top. So every dollar raised goes right towards that person's device.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob, I imagine not everyone has an amazing, successful program right away. Do you have any tips you can share for when fundraising stalls?
Yes, thanks for asking that question because it is very important. When fundraising stalls, it is one of the things that happens, from time to time. And when that happens, there are a couple steps that a person can take to kind of get back on track. First, I always tell people to take a break. And what I mean by this is just really understand what you're trying to do, understand what you're trying to achieve, take a break and look at what you've done so far. Refresh, get some new ideas, and we help with the idea generation, of course, in terms of what we've done, what we can do. And so just really refresh, get a good start. Update your personal networks because when they have, if they've originally set up their donation page, say for a year ago, they could have got more people in their community, rather it be social media, Facebook, Instagram. Keep those people informed and update them as well. Set small goals. A lot of people want to get the home run right off the bat and want to get a huge donation and think that it's going to happen often. There are cases where it does happen, but there are cases where we have to go one donation at a time. So just set smaller goals and understand the victories of each donation and how important it is. Also update milestones. And what I mean by this is that I'm currently working with a fundraiser. His name is Jamie, and he was kind of going through this stalled out process and I was kind of helping him through it. And I asked him, I said, what is new? And he said that, you know what, I really want to get these glasses because my daughter's graduation is coming up in April or May of next year. And I said, you know what, let's add that to your donation page. So by setting milestones, not only does he have this milestone for himself, but everybody else who's looking at contributing can actually see this milestone that he's trying to achieve and able to connect better with donors as well too. So those are some of the steps that I think are really key in terms of when a person stalls out and how to get remotivated, re-engaged back into the fundraising.
That's great. And do you have an example of someone that maybe stalled out and used some of these tips to get back on track?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, the first one that comes to mind would be Margarita. She came into our program about a year ago. After 4 or 5 months, she sort of stalled out and her donation stopped rolling in. She kind of fell off the planet for us. And then when we were able to check in with her and figure out what was going on, she just had sort of lost hope. So the way that we work here is we reassured her and tried to do everything that we could to support her from our end. And what ended up happening was we advised her, like Rob said, to, update your information. And her daughter wrote this beautiful appeal for donations. We had a client come through whose son had purchased the device a couple years ago, and for Christmas she wanted to donate $500 to somebody's fundraising account. So what we did was we sent her a bunch of different options. Turns out she had chosen Margarita because of that beautiful appeal that her daughter had written for her. So I mean, just because she stalled out, now we were able to re-energize her and re-engage her with the program, and she's only $500 away now, so we're very excited to get her across the finish line.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for joining us today. Stephanie and Rob for being our experts. You know, you can contact us if you want to learn anything else about Empower at 1-855-837-8368 or the contact details on your screen. Thank you.